How well do NCAA players pan out into the NBA? In this video, we're sorta gonna find out. As March Madness is around the corner, to celebrate, we're gonna take a look at the last decade's previous Naismith College Players of the Year for the NCAA. This award is the college basketball equivalent to, say, the MVP trophy in the NBA or the Heisman Trophy for college football. The first round of March Madness starts this Thursday, March 16th, 2023, and the best way to bet on anything, anywhere, anytime is with today's partner, MyBookie. Whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting on the eventual national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie's got you covered. Getting started with MyBookie is simple. Visit the website online by clicking that link down below, make your first deposit, and use promo code ReboundRewind to claim an exclusive deposit bonus up to $1,000 prospect. With hundreds of thousands worth in prizes for March Madness and weekly blackjack tournaments, you can turn your game day into a payday with MyBookie. Click that link down below and use code ReboundRewind. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Thanks to MyBookie for sponsoring this video. Let's start off with a bonus one. In 2012, the Naismith College Player of the Year was Anthony Davis. Anthony spent 1 year at Kentucky and won this award as a rookie. For reference, the first rookie to win this award was Kevin Durant back in 2007. Davis won it by putting up 14.2 points per game and an insane 4.7 blocks per game. His two-way play was most certainly appreciated. This skill, of course, did indeed pan out to the NBA after being the #1 overall pick. Davis so far is a 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, 8-time All-Star, 3-time block champ, and a 2020 NBA champion. In 2013, the Naismith College Player of the Year was Trey Burke. Trey won the award as a sophomore at Michigan as he put up 18.6 points per game and nearly 7 assists. Previously, he was the Big Ten Rookie of the Year, and as far as his NBA career goes so far, he was the 9th overall pick in the first round and had an average career. His career started out promising. He made the All-Rookie team, putting up 12.8 points per game, and continued to average around that for the next few seasons, but then slowly but surely became a bench player and a role player, averaging around 7 points per game, and then bounced around the league, playing for the Jazz, then Wizards, Knicks, Mavericks, 76ers, and Mavericks again. So yeah, he did okay, but wasn't MVP caliber like he was back in the NCAA. In 2014, the Naismith College Player of the Year was Doug McDermott. Doug won the award as a senior, putting up a great 26.7 points per game while grabbing 7 boards. He ended up getting drafted in the NBA's first round, 11th overall, but his start to the NBA was bumpy at first. He only played 36 games in his rookie NBA season and put up 3 points per game. His career has largely been off the bench, though he has started in one season, being the 2022 Spurs season. He currently plays for the Spurs, but comes off the bench in this current season, averaging roughly 10 points per game. Like Trey, Doug at best can be described as an average player who's a solid 3-point shooter, but not MVP caliber like he was in college. In 2015, the Naismith College Player of the Year was Frank Kaminsky. Frank won this award as a senior playing for Wisconsin, putting up 18.8 points per game while grabbing 8.2 rebounds per game. He was drafted in the first round, 9th overall, and had a solid but average NBA career thus far. He mainly came off the bench for his entire career, and his better days were certainly in his early years. He averaged 7.5 points per game in his rookie season and continued to average a little over 11 points per game, but more recently he's been averaging around 2 points per game and getting only about 6 minutes per game of playing time. Another case of being a top dog in the NCAA, but just run-of-the-mill in the NBA. And as a top 10 draft pick, you could argue that a player like this is a bust, because as a top 10 pick, you would expect at least a solid starter, and he's clearly a role player who could barely get minutes in this current league. The 2016 Naismith College Player of the Year was Buddy Hield. Buddy won this award as a senior playing for Oklahoma and putting up 25 points per game. Buddy was drafted in the first round, 6th overall, and had a pretty good NBA career thus far. While the teams he's played for never made too much noise, that didn't stop him from putting up great numbers. And while he never made an all-star team, in his best scoring season, he did put up over 20 points per game in the NBA and has multiple seasons where he averages close to 19 points per game. He currently plays for the Pacers and is putting up 17.3 points per game, and while this is not MVP status like during his college days, he's still a really good player, and skill-wise you could argue he's all-star level, even though he doesn't have that exact accolade. The 2017 Naismith College Player of the Year was Frank Mason III, who won the award as a senior playing for Kansas, putting up 20.9 points per game on 5.2 assists per game. He was drafted in the second round, 34th overall, and honestly, for a second round pick, he's done pretty well. In a vacuum, you'd say he's an average bench role player who puts up around 7 points per game, but for a second round pick, that's pretty good. Though it's not his MVP caliber playing type during his college days, but he's barely only played 4 seasons thus far, so there's still plenty of time for Frank to take things to the next level and go even higher. The 2018 Naismith College Player of the Year was Jalen Brunson. Jalen won this award as a junior, putting up 18.9 points per game. Jalen was drafted in the second round, 33rd overall, to the Dallas Mavericks. For a second round pick, Jalen is most certainly a steal in the draft. His NBA career started off small, but he exploded into being a 23.8 points per game scorer in the NBA as he currently plays for the Knicks. While he's never on paper made an all-star team, he certainly plays at that all-star level. The 2019 Naismith College Player of the Year was Zion Williamson. Zion won this award as a freshman playing for Duke as he put up over 22.6 points per game on nearly 2 blocks and 2 steals per game. Zion, of course, was then the first overall pick of the draft, and aside from his injury issues, when he's on the court and he's healthy, he's been outstanding. He so far is a 2-time All-Star, and he's averaging nearly 26 points per game, but that's when he plays. If he can stay healthy, he's got a really bright future ahead, but his health and his ability to stay on the court at 110% is a big question going forward, though I'm rooting for him. The 2020 Naismith College Player of the Year was Obi Toppin, who won the award as a sophomore playing for Dayton, putting up 20 points per game. He was drafted in the first round as the 8th overall pick for the Knicks. His career so far, honestly, has been kinda underwhelming. I wouldn't say he's a bad player because in a vacuum, he's average, which for the NBA is still no easy task, but for a top 10 pick standard, you could say his career is not being projected to what it was supposed to be. He's only averaging about 7 points per game, and you'd expect a top 10 pick again to be a solid starter, though to be fair, he's only played in 3 seasons, and there's still plenty of time to turn things around. In 2021, the Naismith College Player of the Year was Luca Garza, who won the award as a senior playing for Iowa, putting up over 24.1 points per game. Luca was drafted in the second round, 52nd overall, and so far for second round pick standards, I would say he's a steal for what the pick is actually worth. But he has been injury prone lately, and his health is his biggest issue. He only played 32 games in his rookie season, and in his sophomore season, he's only played 24 so far. He's been averaging about 6 points per game in his career. If he can get and stay healthy, there is potential here for him to be a major draft steal as a second round pick. But again, I'm only considering him a steal as he is this deep in the draft. If he was drafted higher, I would call him a bust. And the 2022 Naismith College Player of the Year was Oscar Tshiebwe, who won the award as a junior, putting up 17.4 points per game and is currently still playing for Kentucky, averaging 16.5 points per game. How he will pan out in the NBA if he gets drafted is unknown, but many do project him to being a late first-round pick. But I do think there's insane potential for him to be drafted higher, considering he's a rebounding machine, averaging an insane 15 rebounds per game. But he's not much of a three-point shooter, which is important in today's NBA standards regardless of position. He currently plays power forward at 6'9", but only time will tell how he will pan out in the NBA. So here were the last 11 Naismith College Player of the Years. Feel free to rank these players from worst to best in the comments below, and don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.